We are speaking with Tali Palmer today. She is a transdisciplinary researcher with a lot of experience of working within complex systems. And underlying complex systems are certain fundamental principles that have emerged through practice that she will be sharing with us today. Tali, let's start with the first principle around tolerating discomfort and unresolved tensions, and how these are a gateway to a new level of knowledge.
We don't like everybody, and not everybody likes us, and it's uncomfortable. But in the moments of discomfort, they're a little cue for yourself to learn, to allow the discomfort to open up something new for yourself.
And speaking of something new, there are the aha moments. Speak to us about those.
That's the fun bit. We all know what happens when we suddenly click. And again, being conscious of those and being generous in sharing what happened in your head as you went, aha, is a really helpful thing.
And inherent to that, I would think, is also this principle of generosity that you have.
You see, there are people like me who talk a lot and who don't find it difficult to intervene and say something that's in my head. There are also those people who are very quiet. And this notion of a balanced generosity is to cue yourself into both listening and to speaking and sharing when you have something valuable to share.
And in order for people to be comfortable to share, there has to be a certain level of trust.
Trust and building trust is the foundation and the glue of these processes. And trust comes from tolerance. People experience you tolerating kindly and listening, and that trust that builds out of that is really important.
And then reflection as part of building relationship.
We live in an extremely busy world. We rush from one thing to another, and we think that busyness is efficiency. And it's really important to create formal places to think, to reflect, and to reflect together.
And then being sensitive to the arrivals of ideas and people.
Arrivals are not always convenient. That takes us back to the discomfort. But arrivals bring richness and opportunity. So as they happen, whether they're a person walking walking into the door or the new idea, be sensitive to that.
And part of the arrivals is also that some people then would leave as well, and one has to also manage all sorts of discontinuities.
I think this principle has been the heart and the anchor of my practice, because things change all the time. Meetings are cancelled. A new person replaces another one, and you're not sure if they know where you've got to. And so knowing that this is going to happen helps you very much in just going forward, even though there are these discontinuities.
And needing to sustain inquiry when there are very tough experiences that happen, when there's a certain element of chaos.
The image that you have here is of a municipal building burning. And this happened when people were so frustrated with the lack of service delivery in terms of water that they burned the municipal buildings. And it happened in the middle of a doctoral thesis. Now that's an extreme event, and the need to persevere often happens in a much less dramatic way. But there are times when you want to give up. And the importance of persevering is one of these fundamental principles.
And then finally, the fact that each person is a whole person who comes from many different experiences and is very multidimensional.
We are used to discounting lots of things. I got trained as an ecologist in a science discipline, but I also love poetry, and I write poetry. And it's important for our whole beings and the way we are and our need to move and to be still and what we know of our local context to be part of this engagement. It's part of that generosity we talked about.
Tali, thank you for sharing those principles and for embodying those principles. And thank you to you.